Some of you know everybody, so we got Kid Yaya, we got Keys, Burnt, Tay Tay, Silver, Tam, and Coach, and everybody else listening. Ty, welcome to the room. If you are new, follow the camp so when we do it, you will get an alert. And if you want to hang out in the bottom till you figure out what's going on, the chat is open, y'all. So we're gonna have to get a chat warrior, Miss Tam, somebody to help with the what's going on in the chat. So let's go ahead and get started. This is ARN News. I'm Millie. This is the first and the number one news audio room news period because we started on here and we take it places. But yeah, let's get started. Joyce, I know you in good old cold Nebraska, so let's start with you. We go around and get everybody where they at and what the weather is like, and then we go straight into fan base fan base updates and what's going on. We'll tackle the subjects. Thank you guys for tuning in on YouTube, Twitch, Chatter, and everybody else. So let's go. Joyce, it's on you. And we may or may not be having technical difficulties because she's walking her dog. Joycey. Anyway,
hey, don't start with me, girl. Keep going, but just don't start with me, okay?
Okay, we'll come back to you for the weather.
Yeah, come back to me.
Keys, let's tell us what's going on there. Is it cold, windy? From the good Bay Area. Let's go. Do I need to get like a
My bad,
a
okay,
roll
so yeah,
call? I was
I'm
about to
out
say,
here in the Bay
roll
Area, and
call.
it is 62 out here. That's gonna be our high. Our low is gonna be 41. It is breezy, but not like it was yesterday. We had high winds yesterday, but today is not as bad.
What's high winds?
What'd you say?
What's high winds?
High winds? Yeah.
When
Like
it's 60
we were
degrees
having
outside.
like 80 to 100-mile-an-hour winds
And you're where?
in the Bay Area, California.
And you get those winds while it's like in the 60s? That's interesting.
Yes. We've been getting weird weather this way. That's why I believe LA is burning like it is, because those winds are just, they're ridiculous. Like 80 to 100 miles an hour, during a fire. Like there's really
Yeah.
you could do.
Well, let's keep the weather short, please. Thank you. Kaya, you up next? I'm gonna go
I'm
last
in the
because
Bay too.
y'all.
So I'm getting the same weather as Keys.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm not sure who said good
Hey,
morning.
Cass.
Tay, I know you can come off loud about where you at and what the weather is you available.
I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and the high is supposed to be in the highs 50s, and the low is going to like 30s.
Oh wow. All right, who else got something? I know Coach is in Atlanta too. Cass, Chicago. What do we guys? Are you feeling better, Cass? Are you still negative too?
Okay.
So we're actually, let me check. We sitting at 34 right now. The
Oh
high is
wow.
gonna be 36. The low is gonna be 18.
You sound a lot better, Cass.
She does.
Yeah.
That's better. That's good. That's what's up. Miss Tim, how about you?
It's 21 degrees and snow
Where are you located?
in Cleveland,
I'm sorry?
in Ohio.
Okay. Wow. Like I'm gonna go ahead and send y'all all the love and warmth and sunshine that's coming from over here. I gotta rub it in because where else should you be in this time other than the good old Miami, Florida, where it is currently 68 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna have a high of 70 today, so around 2, 3 o'clock, and a low of 64. I mean, come on, y'all.
Don't nobody give a damn.
Yeah, that was
Say
just
that.
hater speaking
I
and
come shoot your
understand.
son out the sky.
Listen, I'm sending
It's
this
okay.
out to
It's
women.
61 over here. It's gonna be a high 61 over here, man. Yeah.
You know, 6 hours
Hmm.
difference.
Hey, I take that 61 over that 30.
Over that
That part.
18 too.
Yeah, over that 18 too.
All right. Well, you know, let's just get right into it. Like, I don't know if Joy's ready to give hers, but we can get right into it if she's not. Because, you know,
What about Kosha?
he in Atlanta.
It's cold in New York.
Oh, Silver. Yeah, and so anyone who, you know, want to definitely get, please, let's go.
It's 28 degrees in New York, cloudy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and chilly. Nice for a nice sweater and a Silver Fox luxury puffy jacket.
Oh shit.
Oh, I like that shameless plug.
I
Right?
ain't heard Silver Fox talk in a long time. What's going on, my brother?
What's up? What's up, everybody?
Oh, hey, how you doing? How you doing?
All right. So, I really, if I'm gonna see if Joyce is ready, so I can get straight into it, because I know when we get into these topics, how we get. George, you available?
I think she.
All right. So let's start. So, who here is tuning into the inauguration? We're gonna start there. Who got uh uh uh? Ain't nobody watching. Oh, Cassie said she watched it. She said she watched it for the drama. You know what, Cassie? I'm really on the fence. Where's Terrell? But I'm on the fence because I want to see the shenanigans. I know I can wait till, you know, for the sound bites and the clip. Like, I just want to laugh. Like, honestly, that's the only reason I would do it. But I'm kind of with Michelle Obama on this one. I think I'm gonna sit this one out. Like, I really want to sit it out, but the
It's
clip,
like you want to watch it,
really,
but you like, nah, I ain't gonna watch it.
you
Fuck
know,
it.
it's like watching.
Millie, if you watch it, that means you support it.
Yep,
Oh, damn. No, and that's what I'm
yep.
saying. I really don't want to watch it. I'm straddling the fence on this one because
I watch the commentators.
it's like watching reality TV, which I don't watch, but you know, you watch it because it's like, oh man, this is gonna be funny. This it's like not being able to look away from the crash ahead of you, like, you know, because he do have a lot of interesting things, and I find it I just want to see, and it's just like I just want to see. A lot of people are supporting some of the things he's talking about, like, you know, getting rid of the IRS, and that's a big thing for a lot of people. Um, and the question is, you know, to ponder is really, is that possible? Like, what does the money from IRS do? What it's for? Is it really something that could happen? And you know, there's a lot of support behind it. Celebrities coming out and saying, "Man, if you do this, you know, boom, boom, boom." Um, it's very interesting. What are your take? Do you think it's
What is boom, boom, boom?
like he should be the man, or he should have his face on a $100 bill, or, you know, people are saying, like, if that could be done, that would be great. I don't really know if they understand. I don't know how I feel about it.
What would it look like?
Well, he said he's creating another department to, and let me just read so I don't chop it up. Um, I'm trying to get the exact name of the department that he's going to create. But he's going to create a department. It's called an external revenue service agency to collect tariff income. So I don't know. So it says this is his quote unquote. Okay, it said, "For too long we have relied on taxing our great people using the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. Through soft and pathetic weak trade agreements, the American economy has delivered growth and prosperity to the world while taxing ourselves. It is time for that to change. I am today announcing that I will create the External Revenue Service to collect the tariffs, duties, and all revenue that come from foreign sources. We will begin charging those that make money off us with trade, and they will start paying finally their fair share. January 2025 will be the birth of the External Revenue Service, Make America Great Again. Now, I didn't hear from that he's going to get rid of the IRS, but that's the talk. I don't think that he is. I just think he's just creating something different. What are your thoughts?
Based on what you read, I'm with you. I didn't hear him say anything about he was getting rid of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Said he was adding something on.
Right. Right. So I mean, he's getting a lot of celebration. I think it's going to be interesting in the inauguration because they're seating people. And if you know how seating works, right? You're doing events, you put certain people together and things like that. The lineup is pretty interesting. They're going to put Elon, Jeff, and Mark together. They're gonna say, and that's the thing, like you watch it, you can watch it for certain things. It doesn't mean you're supporting, but you can watch to see what is really being played, right? So sometimes it's not what is presented for you to see, but what you see behind, the facade. So, but yeah, there's a lot of things that's coming up from him, and then we'll definitely go into the other topics. I looked several places to see if he said anything about removing it. I couldn't find it anywhere. Now, on the topic of Trump, I noticed there's a lot of, including him and including one of the mayors, that's really talking, and I'll post the link, a lot about Gavin's responsibility for the fire or the way it was handled or the way that it spread and the burnt down the city, blah 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 blah. So there's a lot going around, and he started that, of course. Um, and there is a link, and I think I posted earlier, and I'm gonna post it in here now, where it really speak about the misinformation. It really talked about the one tank that was empty, why it was empty, why it was the perfect time for it to be empty, because it was on maintenance. They also explained, and these are experts, why the fire could not be contained because you needed aerial support, and because of the high winds, as he's just told you, shared with us, um, there was a lot of winds higher than what they're experiencing now. So aerial support was out of the question. They also talked about the water and putting water back in. Those are two things. The main thing is, and I hope people are paying attention, climate change. Why it's been so important since Al Gore that everybody keep brushing it off. And here we are, how many years later? You're seeing the effects of what he's been saying, or what he started to say back then. So it's just very interesting. Do you all think that Governor Newsom could have done a better job? Is he doing a great job? Or do you guys even familiar or aware of what is going on there?
Welcome, Adora.
Welcome.
Hi.
Tell us more.
So, to your question, one, I am right next to it. So I have, I think, a little bit more insight. And then on top of that, my husband is a part of the guard units that were activated. So um, I think that it's interesting. I don't know that Gavin is directly, co-signing or signing off on like all of the decisions that were made leading up to the events, but it is interesting that a number of things were not in place, knowing what kind of state that we have and how prone to fires that they are. So again, with like, for one, decommissioning some of the National Guard's aerial support. Like they don't have planes. Our guard units don't have planes to put out the fires anymore. They're looking for a new plane. They're trying to get better equipment. So they're in the process of getting new equipment, but they never found it. So again, like my husband left for like months to go learn to fly something that isn't even being used anymore. And then on top of that, with again, like all the problems we've been having with Southern California Edison, it just, all of it is perfect timing, is all I'm saying. Like, none of it makes any sense why it all kind of like fell into place together to that magnitude. We had even a period of it was 1 year where it was just the strangest thing. Edison just kept cutting off grids like in chunks. Like, we were without power for hours with no explanation. Even now, there's still people, like 115,000 people with no power. They're not even anywhere near the fires. The grid's just off. It's forcing people to have to like migrate out of LA because they're shutting down that grid, and with possibly no, we don't see the end of it. Like, we don't even have a return date for when my husband's done with this particular situation. So I don't know. The actual like magnitude of it, I don't even think is being communicated on news outlets.
It's not.
We're seeing very, very little communication about what is actually going on that ground.
Hey, can
So,
I ask you
And
a
I want to
question?
thank you definitely for coming up, Ms. Sharon. I hope that you stay, safe, and you guys get some kind of support or relief. Go ahead, Tay, with the question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Adora a question. Have you heard about some type of AI build that they're planning on doing out there?
yeah, you're talking about the whole Smart LA 2028 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt it. They've got cars that drive themselves all over LA, like driverless vehicles. I don't doubt it. Like, that would be a perfect place to do it because the areas surrounding it are also high income areas. So,
What
I
about the
mean, it's
grid,
the
Adora?
perfect spot.
Adora, do you think the electrical grid can handle it though?
No, not at all. It couldn't even handle when the Green Deal went through and then everybody just went crazy and bought Teslas. It couldn't even handle that.
Say
It
that.
only just recently caught up to the amount of power that we use.
So I was reading, and I
Thank
should
you for
say,
answering my question.
and I guess I can come back in and put that in there too. I was reading that they had video footage at this one house, and the guy went and pulled a story up about a mechanical engineer that said he did not want a smart meter on his house, and they showed a video that the property behind him and everything behind him that had a smart meter burned to the ground. His house wasn't even touched. And there's a lot of conspiracies that's going on.
It has to be an electrical fire. It
Yeah.
just doesn't make nothing makes any sense. It has to be an electrical fire.
And people are not talking about that. And I saw this and I was looking and he was showing, and it's like, because he was saying that the smart meter, this is an engineer that did not have this in his house, and he was saying the smart meter is a fire hazard. He said it's so much energy that is coming there, and that's what caused the spread, because once that happened, it was just like this big surge, right? I don't know. I'm just going by what I saw. I have no idea if it's true or real, but you can say, oh, that could make sense. I don't know how true it is, but that's something that they brought up too, about the grid, about the smart
Then
meter.
it's a wonder, like, for me in my background, I understand that fires can be different, right? Like, you can't fight a regular vegetation fire with, the same components that you can fight an electrical fire. An electrical fire and a vegetation fire look very, very similar. But if you don't know the source, you could be fighting all you want and ain't nothing happening. So if it is an electrical fire and they have all that support out there right now, the support that they have, they're used to fighting vegetation. It is not normal for LA to be on fire like that. So realistically, we would have needed resources to fight an electrical fire, which is a totally different grade of equipment.
But how, like, when this stuff is happening, how do they really know? Like, I guess you could have it set up, preventative maintenance, like, hey, this, because you really won't know when the fire is happening. And to one of the things you said earlier about the battalion, the plane, even if they had a plane, it, according to the experts, it wouldn't matter because the winds were so high, the planes could not come. The planes could not fly, and the experts are saying that this needed aerial support, like stuff controlling it and spraying it from the air. But my question, and you're more educated in this area clearly than I am, how would you detect, just from what's happening, trying to contain a situation, how would you be able to easily and quickly detect that this is an electrical fire and we need to do something different? Because
So that is, I think that's a great like pull off from what I was saying. They try their best. They try their best to get homeowners and like everybody on the same path as far as making sure we have meters that will detect things like that. Like I personally, hold on. I personally have in my house a device that's called Ting, and it'll tell me immediately from my phone if something went haywire with my electrical.
and it's
Now, if
called
people
thing.
don't have, it's called Ting. It's literally just it's a little plug-in thing, and even your insurance will be discounted if you have it.
If you have that, post it in the chat for people. That's really good information, because it doesn't matter to me. That's good to have wherever you live. We hear about these electrical fires.
Right. Because you never know. Like, how would you know? It's gone. Everything's gone. So yeah, if they were to have something like that in their house, and they could be like, oh no, it was 100% an electrical fire because look, my app went off. That's like legal
If someone
standing.
have,
So
someone have a good plan, they can just propose that to the government and create something and create a thing, or get in contact with thing and do a partnership. And that's a good community beneficial um, pro- project, because it's just not for California. It could be for anywhere. Whew, that's a lot. I mean, my heart goes out to the people there. And since we're on that topic, let's just go right into the insurance company. People in California is affected by this. What are your thoughts on the insurance company? Because I'm going to say this, right? When I look at everything that's going on and I've read, it just doesn't seem right. Like, it just seemed everything there's, and I don't believe in coincidence, right? But it just seemed like everything was just so neatly, coincidentally happening, right? With all the talks. So I find that very, very weird. But
and the fact that all the insurance companies were looking for a way out too.
yeah, like how do they know? Like, it's almost like it's premeditated. Like, y'all know
Yeah.
that's coming. Did y'all plan on setting it? Are y'all in with it? Like, what's going on? Because y'all pull out like right before this happened. I mean, I think, do you all
They
believe
issued an order against it too, so they had to honor the contracts. I think the order said like the last 90 days, if anybody had a cancellation or a lapse in their policy within the last 90 days, they had to honor it.
Yeah, they're going all the way back until October.
Well, that's great. That's
Yes.
great.
That is wow.
That's great news,
Yes.
because I think they should be held accountable for that. Like, people pay, how many people paid insurance and never had a claim?
Right,
Pay
exactly.
homeowners insurance and even car insurance. I know when the insurance try to get me and talking about, oh, well, somebody hit you, but that's gonna, I said, I've been with y'all for how long? I'm not. If you raise it a penny, I'm leaving, because not because of that. Y'all raise it every year anyway. Y'all say it's market, whatever, whatever. So if I haven't had any incidents in 20 years and then somebody running the back of me, you think you're gonna raise my insurance and it's a no fault and all that good stuff, and it's not even my fault? No, we're not doing that. Like, go back to all the money that you got that I never did nothing with. It's enough. I could have saved all that money up, so when something happened, I could have paid for it myself. So let's not do that. So so I'm glad to hear that. I am very glad to hear that they're going to be um, responsible. I just think it's.
I mean, they are taking ownership. Like I mean, it sucks that people don't actually understand what insurance is. Like, people are like, oh, well, I had a $15 million house. You're going to give me a check for 15 million. And it's like, no, that's not how that works.
No.
You're going to get a check for whatever it costs to build your house back without like any of the upgrades. If you didn't call your insurance and tell them that, hey, I just built a pool, and add that to your insurance, it's not getting built.
That's a fact.
You
And
are
So
even
people
if
forget,
for
like, no, you
homeowners
need to
insurance,
update them so that the value is always there. And when something catastrophic like that happens, you just get exactly what you had back. I mean, sure,
right,
the memories are gone. You know, it's not the same house, but at least you would have the equivalent, you know?
correct. And I think it was the same for your homeowners, your renters. Update your stuff. If you buy a new purse,
But nobody had renter's insurance either.
nobody had renters insurance.
that's
No.
So I'm in between. Like Maryland, it's not required, right? And but you have homeowners insurance, and people just do it anyway. If you know, if you know, you know. But in Miami, most of the places, unless you have to have anything you're renting in Miami, you have to purchase renters insurance. It's not expensive, maybe $12 a month. But
Yeah, like ours is backwards. Like, nobody's required to purchase renters unless like that specific landlord or company that owns that building requires you to do it. But homeowners insurance is 100%. They will not give you a loan without seeing that you have insurance. They will actually bill you for it if they see that you don't have it.
right, they're forced place. They do forced place
Yeah,
insurance. Yeah. Well, a
so it
couple
kind of
of
sucks.
news. Did anybody going into now the current president? Did anyone um, listen or watch his? Is it a farewell speech? You call it the farewell speech?
they said it
I
was more
haven't seen
like
it
a
yet.
warning, okay, for us. It wasn't a farewell speech. you know.
Who said it wasn't a farewell speech? I didn't hear you.
It's all over the news that I
Oh,
mean,
that it was a warning.
if you actually listen to it, it kind of was, like a warning for us. It wasn't, like people expected it to be, like, for real.
Yeah,
So,
I actually
I
watched it
mean,
and I appreciate it because I think this, to me, this is the one of the times that I've seen him be very bold. Even though his voice is still, he's an old man. Like, stop. Um, I felt like it was very bold. I felt it was honest, and he gave his opinion of what people are seeing, like how he saw it. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. And it's interesting, but it did seem very much like you said, Keys. Yeah, I'm scared for all of us. This is a warning, but it was interesting. I am pleased to hear that Israel and Hamas agreed to the Gaza ceasefire and release the release deal. So that was pretty good. And I'm going to say this: I do like that he's going out with leaving certain things. Although he is leaving with a rise in last month with the is it inflation back to like again like 2%? Let me get the exact lingo. But the headlines that I saw, he said today an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence. I mean, just look that way. He talks a lot about the billionaires, what they're doing. Now, this is a newsroom, so some of these things will be triggering, So I just want to make sure that we are aware that it can be very triggering in some of these things that we will bring up. So everybody know, especially on social audio, this whole TikTok ban is just a big deal, right? It's a big thing. It's everywhere. And I had the opportunity to read the document opens up with explicit, I think it's called, what is it called? Let me see. There's a document, I'm gonna post a clip that you can see. It explicit references substantial opportunity, right? Being used at TikTok. So it's telling you how you basically, how you still gonna have TikTok, what are the loopholes, and like it's really not gonna be banned. Any talk, any information, what do y'all think?
I think the internet's doing what it normally does and gets behind the hype. I think a lot of people are increasing their numbers. Creators are taking advantage of the opportunity, even if it's not true. Because then when people do realize, oh, it's back or it stayed, I think even more users will join, which kind of helps their monetary gain anyway. So I haven't read that. How do I?
I'm gonna play this guy that's saying it, and I'll come in with my other profile and
be allowed on TikTok, even though you and we won't be allowed. This is according to leaked documents obtained by Ken Klippenstein. And here is that leaked document. It says that the Bureau of Global Public Affairs recognizes the substantial opportunity cost of public diplomacy practitioners' inability to access TikTok and is pleased to share that the department has approved 2 limited exceptions to the general prohibitions on use of the platform. The first exception pertains to the monitoring and analysis on TikTok by these public diplomacy practitioners, where they're basically allowed to lurk, but they're not posting actively on the platform. The second exception applies to digital content creators who have been explicitly contracted by the federal government to post content on TikTok. Meaning that if you're a Mr. Beast or a Kelly Clarkson or a Guy Fieri, these folks who have approved deals with the Pentagon to make content that's been approved, then they would continue to be allowed to do so. And the document explicitly explains why there's such carve-outs, saying, quote, the platform, now one of the most downloaded digital platforms globally, is increasingly a primary source of news for audiences around the world, including those under the age of 35, a critical demographic for PD, that's public diplomacy, engagement. In the near term, conversations on the platform shape the policy environment in which we operate. Long term, they are shaping the perceptions of a generation of foreign audiences. Yeah, so that kind of gives away the whole game there a little bit, in which, it's clear that it's about speech and that we don't deserve speech, but people that have been approved by the U.S. State Department, the Pentagon, these types of people, they can have speech so they can spread their propaganda to other people around the world, allegedly. As it turns out, the UN still be allowed on
so
TikTok.
this would be Ken Klippenstein, where the document came from, so you guys can pull him up, and he has sources and things like that. And his @ is @Ken Clip, KLIPP. So you guys can check that out. So when it comes to TikTok, Adora, where did you come from? And I'm not looking at the audience, so you guys help me. I see Blessings, Mafia, Damon, welcome y'all. I'm not looking at the screen because I'm using something else for my notes.
Hello. Where did it come from?
Where do you guys come with other platform for the new folks? If you're, from Clubhouse.
I think I found out about this on Facebook.
Okay, so from
Oddly
Facebook.
enough.
Well, welcome.
I actually already had this account. I really just got my account back, so I'm really happy right now. But as far as for the TikTok, I don't think after they find a solution or whatever, I don't really think it's going to be the same anymore. So that's why everybody just going ahead and moving.
That's interesting. I noticed in the same, there's a, what is it called? Red Note, and I forgot the
Xiao Hong Chu.
yeah, the Mandarin name for it. And you kind of like have to learn Mandarin or something. Is that what we're doing?
Actually, they have it to where it can translate. Oh, I'm sorry, Adora. We started talking at the same time. But they got
Yeah, they got something that it translates, so you can like screenshot your screen or whatever, and then it shows some type of icon at the bottom where it's supposed to translate your whole screen or something like that. I have Red Note, but I also got Lemon 8 too, and I said that I was going to be on Fanbase also because I really actually liked the Fanbase. I don't even know why I got off of it, but I'm gonna start back, actually being on here and making rooms and stuff.
Welcome back.
That's great. Welcome back.
I
Welcome back.
haven't seen it in a long. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
I don't think I've ever seen her. The voice of
Yeah, but
So yeah, Duolingo, they reported a 260% increase for users learning Mandarin Chinese in the US following the transition for TikTok. So what is it called? Zhonghao Su?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's like Xiao Heng Shu.
Xiao
Xiaohongshu.
Yeah.
Also known as Red Note. So we're seeing a lot of that happening. And in that also, when we talk about that, we saw that Elon Musk is being sued by the SEC because of, I guess he didn't report purchase of the shares of TikTok.
there's a whole crisis going on right now. Like, not only is Elon Musk getting sued, but please let's not forget about Zuck. He is suffering right now. I'm talking about the stocks are going down. I'm talking about
because he's jumping on the bandwagon and trying to, get in where he can fit in. SEC don't play, and they sue, like he's being sued for failure to disclose Twitter stock purchases. So you notice, and keeping it on the same topic, you notice that well, Elon talks about no fact checking, etc. And then Mark jumped on board, and everybody's trying to save their bottom line, right? It's business as usual. What are your thoughts, y'all thoughts on not fact checking on these audio spaces, especially when people are looking to them for news and for information? Do you think that that's cool? Do you see the danger of it, or you like, oh, it's free speech, say whatever you want? What are your thoughts?
I really think that it's on the individual to do their, own fact checking, no matter what platform you're getting your news from. Like, so I feel like, it could be a good thing, because there's a lot of shadow banning, that's going on. So I think, I think it'd be a good thing. I still think it's just on each and every individual, to do their own due diligence when it comes to fact checking.
When Meta had it in place, you still had to kind of still do your own research because it would flag basically everything. Anytime it mentioned a certain name, a political party, just anything that could sway one way or the other, it basically put a fact check in place. So, like, I don't think it was useful to begin with. So maybe the conversation has to go more towards like educating people on how to go ahead and go do your own research.
That part.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. But you got to remember, in a lot of these places, we have young, impressionable people that are literally that is being raised by social media. Not for everybody, but for the most part, And so those kids, 13 and under, are really impressionable, and they're not, I don't think they're really equipped to go fact check. They're just, I think we do have a responsibility to the disadvantage to put the truth out, or the correct information, at least the correct information, because everybody's truths are different.
I was going to add. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Joyce.
Okay, because I'm at the gym. But I was going to say too, I remember during COVID, when people were giving like their own personal experiences with like the vaccine and all of that seriously. And so it got to the point where people couldn't even give their own experiences with whether or not they wanted to even take the vaccine. So when it's like emergency situations, that checker sucked, right? Because we couldn't even give our own experiences. You know what I mean? Because I remember posting something, I can't remember what it was. Of course, they banned me anyway. Yes, Meta. But anyway, I remember talking about my own personal experience with COVID. And as soon as I posted it, it was like fact checker, that pop up that comes up. And I said, how you gonna fact check my experience? That's crazy. So, and just like I think when Adora was talking about what she's experiencing now, say for instance, if they have whatever they got going on with these fires, fact check comes up on her thing saying, you can't talk about anything unless, you have the resources or whatever they said. But yeah, so I think that the fact checker didn't help when there's emergency situations at all. And I rest my mic.
Thanks for that, Joyce. Mafia, and am I saying your name right? Just correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's Mafietta. But I just wanted to say, like, it's not only just like, okay, so other social medias, like, they're very, very strict on fact checking. But like TikTok is very lenient on it to the point where, yeah, it fact checks, but it also lets you express your own opinion about a topic, which is why everybody likes TikTok way much better than they like any other social media. So anything that's the only social media that I've seen that's close to TikTok, in my opinion, would be Fan Base, of course, and Lemonade.
Okay. Just for resources, anyone who are affected by these fires in California, if you do have a mortgage with Bank of America or JP Morgan Chase, they are offering assistance, whether it's forbearance, like put a pause in your payments, or the thing that got me is said a reduced payment. Bruh, thank God it didn't me, because I'm not paying for a house that's burnt down. You will not get another mortgage payment from me for something that does not exist. Take that up with the insurance company. But I do think it's a good thing that they have the forbearance program. Like, do you think you should redo the clause when contracts and mortgage contracts when you're buying a house? Like, if it burned down to the ground, I'm not paying y'all no mortgage. Like, could that be a thing? Just
You're still accountable for that mortgage, so it could actually damage your credit.
And I get that. And I'm thinking like, oh, that could be a problem, because personally, I'm not paying for a house that's burned down. It's something, I'm not when I did my part, got insurance, do all that. Y'all figure that out.
And
Not especially if it was like a recent purchase, like you spent $5 million or something crazy, but that's not the value of the build. I would just file for bankruptcy and just start my life over. I wouldn't even try it. Like,
Say that, Adora, okay? Because especially with the prices out here in Cali, like, just forget it. Just start all over.
I think they're gonna have to come up with something, because it's too many people for them to just ruin everybody's credit. Like, it's a national catastrophe. I hate to have that much trust in the government, but they will have to come up with something, because they can't allow all those people to just take that big old L. And that's going to affect, whether or not Cali is ever really able to come back as well.
Well, there
didn't they sign a bill, like, what is it, like a couple weeks ago? It was like $99 billion for like disaster relief or something. Is that not including people's home builds?
And they're
It's
only
just for
giving out
Ukraine.
$770 to all California residents that houses burned down, and it's supposed to help with essential items and things of that nature. Does that help with the whole thing that's happening out here? I doubt it's the bill that you're talking about being signed. And they're also, again, large corporations coming out to like buy the property that is damaged to help those people kind of shuffle about, but they're not going to have their cities built back up again. So,
And you know
it's
what?
like,
So there is a conversation that's happening about the smart city, and a lot of people are saying this was intentional so they can rebuild that smart city. Did you guys hear about that? I know Keys and I discussed that.
yeah, they're talking about tech cities all over California. They want to do tech cities in Solano County. So they're buying up a lot of farmland out there, and a lot of the residents have already pushed back because they have it on the voter registration card or whatever the case may be. And then a lot of people pushed back. There were also groups of people, I was a part of one of those groups, coming together as a community to like push that out because they are very intentional with buying up the space and they're selling this dream that of course isn't beneficial for the current residents.
Okay.
Property taxes too, even with no house on it.
Yeah, that's weird.
So
Somebody got
like they issued like some sort of the county, I don't know who the county assessor is for LA, but he issued some sort of thing saying like, oh yeah, we've reduced everybody's property taxes down to zero. All they have to do is submit this paperwork, blah, 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 blah. And then, but when you really look into it, the value between the land costs more than the house when it comes to property tax. So you're not getting the biggest discount in the world. I don't think they're trying to help.
I hope that they do have something in place because it's going to be much needed. It's just really bad for everybody, and I hope that they come up with something because I don't think this is something that a homeowner, like the responsibility should not land on the homeowner because it was really nothing that they could have done or not do with this situation. Well,
What do you guys? Oh, my
go
bad.
ahead. No, I'll switch after. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, what do you guys think about FEMA saying that like the ones that have already like started GoFundMe for their house, they're saying that they're not going to be helping them because they already have a source helping them.
Move it. I think people who try to do GoFundMe for their house is just some extra stuff because, like, go to the state, go to the government, go to the federal. There's a lot of stuff that is happening, like I said, with the forbearance, like Adora just talked about. Even though it's not like the great thing, but and there's a lot of nonprofits and people that are donating to that. I know to me, $770 is not much, but he is asking, President Biden is asking for more to go to those families to, for their personal things. But I think this should be the responsibility of the state and the country, not on everybody else. And if we can find how many millions and millions and millions of dollars to send somewhere else, that money needs to come back to help what's going on here. And that's just my opinion. So moving around, even though it's still low, the U.S. consumer prices rise 0.04% in December. Yearly inflation hit 2.9. It is still low. Let's just celebrate that, okay? It is still pretty low. I'm interested to see what happens next. We are going to get into other important things, and I think this was funny. I saw somebody ask which candy. Finally, FDA bans the red dye used in bubblegum, candy, cocktail, and things like that because they said it's due to it has a lot of link to cancer in rats. But they've been saying red dye and it's banned in a lot of other countries. It's not good. So finally, about a day, it was yesterday, 2 days ago, they banned it. So I think that's really great there. And I'm gonna go to one like really sad thing because I'm a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to some entertainment. I'm gonna go back with that because we're gonna have a lot of conversation around that. Oh, child. I'm sorry, y'all. So some good stuff that's going on. entertainment stuff is what I'm gonna say, and all that I'm putting the same link. Starbucks, for you people, for you folks who just go to Starbucks because you don't have the Wi-Fi, you will no longer be able to go into Starbucks. They will not be having an open door policy anymore in North America starting January 27th. You cannot just go and use up their Wi-Fi, take up the seats, and when we come in there with our coffee and our laptop, you sit in there with nothing, using up all the free Wi-Fi and taking up all the seats. Thank you, Starbucks. That's why I like Starbucks. Stay home, go to McDonald's or do something else, but
You ain't shit.
you ain't taking up our spots no more. So unless you buying something, you are no longer allowed on the premises. I actually like that.
Me too, though.
So that's a good one. There's on the 27th, I want to say there's a lot of stuff that's going on the 27th. And y'all can judge me if y'all want, but I love me some Ross. And so on the 27th, Ross gonna have some products or items that are going to be selling for 49 cents. I think they'd be having some nice home stuff. I don't care what nobody say. I think, if you're too bougie for Ross, then I feel you, but I like me some Ross. Anyway.
I just got half my Calvin Klein suits from Ross. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Oh my gosh. So yeah. There's another thing that I wanted to bring up before I go into this other stuff. Like, I'm gonna say I feel like I'm running through this quickly, but we usually do this. We used to do this every day, and that we move it to one day. And I'm telling you, it's too much news for one day. So I'm going back on the table with that. Going back to the table with that. But what I did see, and I'm going for exactly my notes on this, and I don't know how true it is, so I'm going to fact check. There was no fact check thing that came up. I'm going to find out today that Chase Bank is offering, has announced, not offering, Chase Bank has announced LLC owners can get approved up to $150,000 without showing any proof of revenue.
Go where? Sign me up.
Shit, what? Hold on, I'm about to call
Sign
my
me
bank
up,
right
coach.
now.
For the people that were distracted and not paying attention, could you say that again, please?
I'm good. And here's the thing. I'm reading the news. I haven't checked it yet. This is something that just came across. Is saying that you can get up to $150,000 without showing any proof of revenue at Chase. I have an appointment, so I'm going to ask them when I get over there about that. And it says that you can get, $60,000, $55,000, and things like that. And it says you go straight to the Chase. You go straight to the Chase representative. So I don't know. I still have to look into that. I thought that was very interesting. I'm gonna find out today for sure.
I'll call them too, because yeah, that'd be nice about now.
Definitely don't call them, okay?
Yeah, I have an appointment for something else today, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. A couple good stuff because I like to add good stuff into these news.
Before you move on, I
You said what?
actually was in the background. I saw that as well. I'm not able to find it in a timely fashion, but once I find it, I have some information because I saw that as well. That's why I asked you to repeat that because that would have been kind of crazy to hear that twice from two different people.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it, and I have my appointment. I'm like, yep, I'm gonna ask them as soon as I get there today.
Yeah, make sure you
That's not what
ask.
you're paying for. I'll be like, and no, I'm just kidding. So good news, if you guys want to further your education, I like to do this whole free, the free stuff. Harvard University has announced a free online computer science course, and there's no registration fee. So if you have done any online courses with Harvard, there's usually a registration fee, even though the course is free. And I find it to be like there's a lot of certification, there's a lot of things, and then you might have to pay for the certification at the end, even if you didn't do a registration fee. But I think this is really great. Anybody who want to just get into something and learn something else, these free courses are quite amazing. Also, school. I'm big in school, y'all. Don't pay me no mind, but pay me some mind. John Hopkins paying tuition for student whose family earned under 300,000. Guys, you guys can go look that up. That is information that's out there for this starting fall 2024. Clearly, I'm in Maryland, so I get this. Maryland students get free tuition if their parents earn under 300,000, and if they earn 175,000, they get everything covered: tuition fees and living expenses. Go ahead and check that out. If y'all want to go back to school, it's never too late. Okay, want to get them letters behind your name. So I'm gonna probably save some because I know we're gonna go into some real discussions, and you guys can bring up anything. Another thing about the room, if I miss something or y'all feel that it's something to share that's important, good for the group, good for the community, good for the whatever, definitely share it. So I'm gonna go into this one about bullying because I saw a lot of stuff about bullying and kosher, and I had a discussion yesterday about bullying, but we're not gonna get too much into that. But we know that there's a lot of bullying on the internet, and there's a couple of questions I want to ask here. After I put this story out, there's a couple stories. One I'm gonna do real light because it's like a lot of fun. It's not. It's good. It's a good story, and then the other one is a little bit more triggering. So I'm putting that disclosure. So be mindful. So we know bullying is a big thing on social media. And like I said, Coach and I had discussed something. So I do, and I'm gonna say this. I'm not very nice, but I do believe that we should be kind, right, to people in all of it, in any situations or whatever. So there's a kid that is in, I believe, is that Houston? Where's Little Flip from, Keys?
I'm not for sure.
Houston, I believe.
Okay, so there's
She's in New York, I think. The little
no,
girl.
it's not New York. Got the rapper Lil Flip. I don't really know him like that. I just know he's a rapper. I want to say it's Houston. It's either Houston or like the Bay Area or something like that. I'm not really
No,
sure.
he's from Texas.
Okay. So there's this kid named Jordan who was getting bullied at school, and the community. Now, granted, this was in a big old fashion, right? And it just distracted the kids. I thought it was nice. I'm not sure it solves the problem, but I think it's a start. The community showing up against these things, these bullying. So he was being bullied at school, and the whole community, like not like out. When I say a lot, the cars were just pulling up to his school. I think they call it the bully gang or non-bully gang or something. Let me see. But they came and kind of support him and just was like, there's no bullying and things like that. Well, they did show up in a whole lot of exotic cars, so of course it got the students' attention. Not sure if that was the best thing, but I like the idea behind it. Community coming out and support and say, "Oh no, we're not doing that." I thought that was a nice thing, I guess, to say the least. And so with that feel good story, everybody was happy. The kids, I mean, I guess it's gonna make him popular. That's all good, all gravy. Now, there's a very disturbing story that I'm about to bring up now about bullying. Do they call it internet bullying? Or would you call this internet bullying? Go ahead, Kosha.
If I can take us back in time just a little bit and go back to that $150,000.
Okay.
It in fact is true. From what I'm saying, it is just a requirement that you have at least a 700 credit score. The entire process takes about 3 hours. So it's not a thing that would take long for you to get your definitive answer on what you're gonna get.
You cut out. How long does it take?
About 3 hours.
Oh wow.
About 3 hours.
I'll let y'all know. I'll help y'all apply for my 3-hour time. I will bill you up front.
There is a 0% interest that is charged, and the funds must be used for a business or investment.
Kosha, when I tell you I'm on that, as soon as I get off here, I'm on that. Okay, 150,000 for a business. What?
Mm-hmm.
Can you drop a link to where you found it?
This is just information that I was sent by someone that does real estate.
Because it's a commercial real estate loan, isn't it?
He may have copied and pasted. That's why I'm not able to just send you a link.
And I'll follow up once I go.
Yeah, just follow up.
I'll follow
but
up. You guys know, what it is, and
yeah,
because
but they don't.
reading it,
But the real kicker is they don't ask for bank statements, pay stubs, or an upfront payment. Most stuff like
signature loan, just saying your credit.
And then there was no risk. It's one more thing I read. It's no risk of something.
Is it like a DSCR where you have to like do an injection?
I'm not familiar with the DSWR or UR or whatever that I'm
CR?
not.
Sorry.
CR.
DSCR. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Oh.
I did not say
Okay.
that. Yeah, but it sounds too good to be true. I don't know. My antennas go up on everything. I might just be.
No way. That thing would be so far populated by now.
Yeah. The credential of 700 on the credit is not too difficult. I would expect at least an 800, a 750, 760 or something for something this dope.
Yeah, with no like.
I think one of the best ways to confirm this is to call Chase Bank.
Yeah, we'll call them right after this.
Yeah. I think you just get them on the phone from the phone number that it says, And all right, so let me just say the bullets real quick. 7 credit score, access to 150 capital, 0% interest, no need for tax returns, bank statements, or upfront payment. Limited time offer, no technical experts needed, less than 3 hours, no risk to personal savings. Bank is eager to provide funds due to rising inflation and interest rates. This year, call the bank. Has secured over 60 million and helped over 2,000 people so far.
2,000.
We in there like swimwear.
If this is real.
If it's real, I'm today.
No income documentation required.
I think I found the name of the program, y'all. It's the Chase Private Client Program. That's the business account they're trying to get you to sign up for.
Okay. And Private Client has the that's fine. You can qualify. Private Client has a what you call it, minimum that you have in that bank account.
It does. It has like I think it's like a $50,000 banking minimum, like a daily balance or something. Don't quote me. I'm just saying I think that's what it
I'm
It's
looking
something like that.
I'm looking right now because it's usually, so it's not bad. And usually if you're doing business, you can cover this. Private client is, I have a Chase account, so come on, just give me the stuff. If they have an offer code for $3,000, so if you open one, you can get a bonus for $3,000, and so it's, you can, when you deposit 150,000 to 149,000, you get a $1,000 bonus, and if you do 200,000, 500,000, you get 2,000, and if it's 500,000 plus, you get a 3,000 bonus, and so the minimum deposit would be 150,000. So for businesses that can get this money, it makes sense because the deposit doesn't mean, and I'm gonna read the fine prints to see if there's a balance requirement. And you can combine, new money securities can be combined, so that's good. Hold up. You open it with $150,000. Blah blah blah. I'm trying to see how long you have to keep this for. All right, so you would have to do at least one of the following each statement period. So you'd have to keep an average beginning balance of 150,000 or more in any combination of this account and link qualifying Chase checking account, savings, or others. So if you have a payroll account, if you have a sweep account, if you have other, accounts, business accounts, it will combine and you can use that. So you pretty much have to have that. I'm actually looking to see and I don't see it. Okay, so they use your daily balance to calculate. But you can just have this account till you get the loan, and once you get the loan, you put that 150 in there and just kind of use it in, add to your payroll account, because if you have a payroll account that you're paying out 80,000, 120,000, that money's gonna be in there. I love it. I'm gonna definitely look into it today. But thank you, Adora. Thank you, Kosher, for going in. This is what we're talking about. Going in and get that information. And I'm not going to throw any shade. I'm going to go into this disturbing story. I'm glad we know that. So I hope y'all pop into those free credit building spaces, rooms, and also use some of the things that are available, like calling the credit bureau. Let them know if you ever get that email, or if you see you're getting a lot of spam stuff, your information was exposed, call the credit bureau, get all that stuff. It takes 4 days. You don't got to wait 30 days, and have them remove all that stuff so you can get that high credit score. And if you have a business with that amount of money, you can also do that. So here is this disturbing story that I was talking about. I don't know if anybody familiar with Bikini Beans Coffee. Okay.
I saw the story though, but yeah.
Yeah, so Bikini Beans Coffee, it's like Starbucks with a Hooters theme. So it should, be an idea. The girls are in bikini, and they, serve coffee or whatever. This young man looks like a very handsome young man, young, has kids and a wife. Um, hmm, um, I guess he had his pants down. He was masturbating. Let me just be very frank. He was masturbating through the drive-through or whatever, and one of the employees saw him, and then the manager say, that's unacceptable, blah blah blah, because he pulled up to the drive-through, and he was, pull off, sped off. But what happened, which is where the bullying comes in or whatever, the doxing and whatever, um, one of the employees uploaded it to social media, and the guy ended up killing himself. I said it was triggering, so forgive me.
I
And
saw that.
yeah, so
I saw the video of him pulling off. They, him, I guess, exposing himself.
Yeah, but how do you come back from that? Being exposed as a pervert and you have wife and children.
Kids. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you come back from that? Like, there's no coming back from that. What do you do?
Yeah, you don't come back from that. The only way to come back from that is not doing it in the first place.
You just go to therapy? Like, admit I have a problem and go to therapy? Like, I don't know.
So
No,
that's one part of it, but is it okay? Like, was that okay for them to just put him, dox him like that? I don't think that was okay. That's where I think that's bullying. I think that's, why would you do that? Why would you expose him like that? Why would you dox him?
I mean, he was doing something that needed to be prosecuted. So I don't know if we can call it doxing. I think that's actually trying to find where the criminal is. That's criminal activity.
In the video, the manager immediately says, "Call the police." So
yeah, because he had done it before. She recognized him.
I didn't realize.
You think I didn't know
it more than one
either.
Yeah. That was the thing. That was the thing. Like she already had her camera out because she was trying to document it because this is something that he had done before.
I don't know. I still don't feel comfortable with that. I think, like you say, call the police, report it, get some stuff. But really, like, people don't like it. That's not fair to the family. You understand? That's not fair to his kids.
All of that is his responsibility, I would say, though.
Okay, but that doesn't negate the fact that it's gonna fuck up those people, and these are the people that is in our community. These are the people that we're gonna have to deal with. I do believe that there's a better way of handling it to get him some help. Being malicious, because I consider that to be malicious, it's no better, right?
So this is considered a public environment, right?
Yeah, this is
so if
like
a child walks by, or
exactly.
you're already in a public environment, I feel like it's kind of gotten already too far.
But see, he's not just in his car, masturbating. He gets off on driving and exposing that to the women that are in this little booth, and he can't really tell where they're at. But I would liken it to if you drive into an amusement park and you have to pay, and they have those big columns, and it's like 3 or 4 people in there.
It's like a trailer. They had them in Oregon. They're called bikini baristas. So it's a whole it's a subdivision of like sex workers.
Oh, so this is where it go down at.
Well, they're not like they're literally just.
It's like Hooters,
right? With pasties on and a thong. That's it.
Well, I may be thinking of something else because this was outside, and it was a white woman, like an older white woman. And the gentleman, when they pulled off, you couldn't really see what he was doing. He was kind of fair skinned, kind of round Charlie Brown head.
I never saw the face of the woman, but you see the face of the man. He was in like a black, maybe Dodge vehicle. I don't know.
Charger. Yeah. I'm going off of her voice. But yeah. I hate that he took his life, but I think we kind of put ourselves in bad position when we do stuff like that, because we do live in a time in which everything is recorded. So your worst moments if they're outside, it's a possibility that you're going to be exposed. But I don't think he really qualifies for protection because, like I think Adora was saying, what if a child was walking by? But not even a child, just no woman should be subjected to that because that's also like he would be charged with sexual assault because that would qualify as an assault if you do that in front of a person, expose yourself. Um, and if that's not technically correct, I look at it as a form of assault. If you did that to my daughter, I would have a response.
Yeah, just unfortunate the young man had to. I don't even know how old he is. I'm just assuming. But it's just unfortunate that he had to like lose his life over the whole situation. Like he could have made better choices and it wouldn't have even provoked anything. But I mean, hey.
And I'm just gonna chime in. Like I've actually done had that shit happen to me several times in life. Like even like walking my sister to school, you know, years ago. Like so I'm not for any of that. If you're really out there in public, you know, exposing yourself and getting off, like I don't care if them women are in those freaking little shacks with freaking pasties on and bikinis, like that gives you no right to come by and expose yourself to them repeatedly. Like so like you said, it's sad that he took his life, but it's just like there's just some things you just don't do. And like I said, from that happening to me before, like several times, like it's just no, I don't, I really don't have no sympathy for that type of situation. I don't look at it as bullying, because guys like that actually need to be exposed. What if he was doing that type of shit to his own children? Who knows? You know, like that shit runs deep. You're just not out there in the public doing that. You started that shit at home.
Yeah, like you're comfortable with doing it in public. Like I could only imagine some of the stuff you do in private. Like,
Say
yeah.
that.
And I think that's how that stuff grows. You something smaller was happening at the house, and it like snowballed, and now he Mr. Freaky Dicky to the point where he's doing something illegal to get off. That's why I be telling y'all, man, y'all need to stop doing all that freaky stuff. You ain't gonna be able to get off on no regular. But anyway.
Where's Amelia at? I don't see her, but it might just be me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I don't see her either.
Then room might close.
Well, we got 4 minutes.
Okay.
Earlier, I had the Trump PTR because that's Trump's new official picture. You'll see it. It looks like it was like a movie thing where she said the end is near.
Hey, inflation.
Hey, my bad. I was driving down the interstate 285. Just closed that contract. Heading back to the office to brag to the white boys.
Oh shit.
$1.2 million. Go kick rocks, Jeff.
I'm so
and
glad
Amber.
we worked together.
I'm done.
I'm so glad we worked together. Congratulations, dear brother.
Go kick rock, Jeff. And Amber talking all that shit in the meeting last week. Kiss my goddamn ass. 1.2 million, bitch.
Yeah, we live too. We live. Tell the world.
Yeah, we are live.
Are we live? My bad.
Yeah. No. I'm saying for you. I'm saying for you. Like, did you want to tell everybody?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've been chasing this contract for 18 months, bro. 18 months. Going through all kind of hell and go back, revise, red line this, another red line, a red line on top of the red line. My lawyer don't like your lawyer. Man, this shit is crazy.
Congratulations.
Then the lady gonna tell me, she gonna say, well, the only reason why that you was getting a lot of pushback because they wasn't expecting, somebody like you. I said, what does somebody like mean? mean, ma'am? What do you mean? You mean, you talking about the color of my skin? So you think that we can't do this type of work? You're crazy, man. I'm about to
They
train
not
a
like
team of
us.
people doing this shit. Shit. No, y'all not supposed to be doing this. We need you just sweeping the floors. Man, you don't go kick rocks.
You about to have a
Sweeping no
lawsuit
goddamn
there,
floor.
buddy. He's about to have a
Say
lawsuit.
that.
They can go pound saying, I'm finna go get another contract. I'm gonna light their asses up this year. For 2025, I'm gonna make everybody recognize.
Tax that
Even that little
ass.
baby that was giving me, even that little baby that gave me a little attitude, little Amber baby, little Damien looking baby. I'm gonna make that baby recognize too.
Tax that ass.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
He said, I'm about to pop out and show niggas.